Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I last sat down and spoke to you. I think the last time I did a floss tube was, I think it was after Christmas actually, end of December, and we're now in July. So yeah, I'm not sure how that happened, but this year has been quite a hectic year, and so yeah, I'm finally back. Thank you everybody who is a subscriber already to the channel and you're coming back to see what's been going on. Thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new here, you've just clicked on this video, then welcome. My name is Sian and hopefully you like what you see. I thought a good video to come back to would be a WIP parade, a mid-year WIP parade. I have been quite busy with some of my projects. Some of them I have finished, so I'm going to be sharing with you those that I finished. And then I think we've got about 9 or 10 WIPs. I can't remember how many WIPs I have now. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many WIPs I have at the end of the WIP parade. So where have I been? What's been going on? First of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody who reached out to me in the past 6 months. Honestly, it has meant so much that those, people have actually kind of cared about where I've been, checked in with me. So honestly, thank you so much for every single one of you who reached out to me over on Instagram. It really did mean a lot that, people thought of me and just wanted to know kind of where I was at. Obviously, 6 months is a long time not to post on a YouTube channel on the channel. So yeah, thank you very much. I don't want to keep this video as a update of my life video. I do want to get into the stitching, but I am going to give you an update as to what's been going on because yeah, lots been going on. So for those of you who are familiar with my channel and kind of me, you'll know that I took on a second job with Caterpillar Cross Stitch as their YouTube presenter in October. And in January, so after I had finished filming my last video in December, Caterpillar Cross Stitch had a beginner's school starting at the end of January, and it was over parts, so I think there was 4 parts, and it ended in March. And so I really put all into that kind of role. And so for January and March, I really just concentrate on my full-time job and my second job as well with Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And I have now stepped away from that role, and they now have a lovely YouTube presenter called Marie. She is so lovely and such a great fit for Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So definitely go and check out Caterpillar Cross Stitch YouTube. So yeah, I have now moved away from that role, and it was more just because of work balance, life balance. It was quite a lot to have a full-time job and also that on the side. So I did make the decision to move away from that role, and it was just an absolutely amazing experience. I felt really lucky to have been given that opportunity. And I also want to thank everybody who supported me over there. I saw so many of you who speak to me here or speak to me on Instagram, also commenting on them videos as well. So thank you so much for the support that you gave me whilst I was in that role. So yeah, for January and March, I really did just focus on work, really. My full-time job was really busy, and also wanted to put my all into that Caterpillar Cross Stitch school for beginners. And so that is one of the reasons why I've been gone, but the main reason why I have been gone is because I have been busy making a human. So me and Brett are expecting our first child. She is due in October, so we are super, super excited for the journey that we are on. And so yeah, pregnancy symptoms really kicked in as I finished Caterpillar Cross Stitch, my role at Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And so yeah, I kind of needed to take a bit of a step back. I wasn't really able to stitch, just felt too sick to stitch, and just wasn't in a place where I could really film. So yeah, Pregnancy symptoms are a challenge, but we got through them. We are now in our second trimester and we're feeling good. We're really enjoying the journey that we're on. And so I'm finally able to sit down and catch up with you all. Yeah, I thought I'd let you know. So we've obviously had our 20-week scan, everything's good, she's all good. And so yeah, once we kind of got that all clear, I felt like I could really tell the world. And so I'm now 23 weeks or 23 and a half weeks. And yeah, she's due in October. So yeah, we decided to find out what we were having. And we've known since 10 weeks. So we have known for a long time. And today we actually started building the furniture in her room, which was quite an emotional thing. So everything's kind of changed upstairs. My craft room is no longer my craft room. I've moved into another room. Brett's moved into my craft room, and baby is going in Brett's room where he worked. So we're quite fortunate that we do live in a house, which means that we don't have to give up a room. So we are really, really lucky. We've just moved all rooms around. And so we've been quite busy trying to get the house ready, get her room ready. And so, yeah, we've still got a lot to do, Definitely need 9 months to kind of prepare for having a baby. But we are just so incredibly excited for the journey we're on, meeting her. And yeah, that is kind of where I've been. I hope you can forgive me, and I hope that kind of makes you understand why I have been away for such a long time. But I'm back. We are back, and we've got an update for you. I've really missed kind of sharing my stitching with everyone. It really has made a difference to kind of my cross stitching bug. Speaking with you and sharing with you my cross stitching really does add to my stitching. I enjoy my stitching even more when I'm able to share what I'm doing with you. So yeah, for the beginning of the year I was on a roll. You'll see a lot of my finishes were all done in February, and then there was a period where I just could not stitch. I just couldn't look at stitching at all. But we're back on our stitching now, feeling good, and I'm just trying to really finish as many stitches as I can, really, as many projects. So I haven't started anything new other than a stitch along that I'm hosting, which we'll go into. But yeah, I'm trying to just focus on my projects. I don't know how much time I'm going to get when baby is here. Obviously I'm going to carry on once I kind of find my feet and we have a routine, but for now I'm just focusing on the projects that I've got. So where are we up to? Okay, so let's go into finishes. I've been so excited to share these with you, and I've just had them in a pile waiting for the time where I can sit down and share these with you, and we're finally here. So the first one, I think I did share on Instagram, and that is the Swans by Luca S. So this one I started on the 17th of the 7th, 2020, and I finished it on the 5th of the 2nd, 2022. This is on a 16 count Ada. I think it's oatmeal. It came as part of the kit from Luca S, and it's with all the called for threads. And so here is what it looks like. I love it. I'm so happy that I just carried on with it. Like, I knew I was going to love it when it was finished, but because of the watercolour vibe that it has, there was just so many colours, which meant stop, start, stop, start. And it just took such a long time for something that shouldn't have took as long as it did. But I'm so pleased with it. I'm really, really pleased with how this one has turned out. I did have to make some kind of colour adjustments. I did run out of a thread. I'm not sure if I run out of thread. I think I might have misplaced it because all the other colours I had plenty of still left over. So I think I might have just misplaced the colour. So I managed to find a colour that was very close to it, and then I just substituted. And to be honest, I wouldn't even be able to tell you what colour or where now was the issue. I wouldn't even know. So that is the first one. I am thinking a white frame for this, and then I don't know where to put it. Potentially baby room. The baby room is going to be neutral, so this would actually look quite nice. So that is a potential. So that is the first one. The second one is by Hands On Designs. This is actually a freebie. I started this for March Madness in 2021. And I started this one on the 4th of March and finished it 4th of March 2021, finished it 13th of February 2022. For something so small, it definitely shouldn't have taken that long. But yeah, here we are. So this I stitched with DMC 4500. It's on 32 count natural Flora even weave. Me and this thread, we didn't get on. We did not get on at all. I just really struggled with the variegation of it. And so I think that's why it took me so long. So when I came to this year, I thought, well, either finish it or start again and, you know, start with another thread. But I thought, no, I'm gonna finish it. It's, you know, it is a super small, and I'm sure once it's finished, it'll look nice. And I'm really pleased with how this one has actually turned out. I just didn't have fun with this one. I just didn't have fun with the variegation. I love the design, love the pattern. It's just the variegation that I just didn't get on with. I'm not sure if I was just kind of missing a knack. That's not the word. A knack? Is that the right word? I don't know. I felt like I was just missing something of how to use it. And so one of the things as well as I really wanted the end bits to be symmetrical. So some of the design I just wanted to be symmetrical with, you know, with it being on either side. And so, yeah, but it's finished. Now with this one, I really wanted to frame it in a house frame. So I did finish a piece in the frame that I had in mind. And some of you actually reached out to me and said, where is this frame? I'll put a little picture up here so you know what I'm talking about. And when I went onto Amazon, which is where I bought it from, it doesn't seem to be available anymore. So I'm going to keep an eye out for other kind of frames that are in house shape frame, as I really, really love that frame. So I need to find something that works for this kind of design. And I just think having a house frame with kind of the wording and the sentiment of it, I think would look really, really good. So yeah, that is the second finish that I finished in February. And there's the door. One sec. Okay, next one is Summer Sale Freebie. So this is a freebie design by Crocette Gogo. This I started on the 18th of July 2021 and finished it on the 20th of February 2022. It's on 32 count vintage blue linen. And this is what we have. So I did change some of the colours in this. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but if anybody does want to know, let me know and I can dig out the colours that I used. And so this is just a really, really cute little design. I really want to get this on something to finish it so I can have it displayed in summer. But super, super cute. I just love all the Crocette Gogo freebie designs. I just think they're so adorable, and this one shouldn't have taken this long either, but I seem to take a long time with all my projects, especially the smaller ones, and I don't really know why, but yeah, super, super cute. I just love the little mouse and the little cat in the boat together. I just think it's adorable. So that is that one. Okay, the next one is If You Live to Be 100. And this is a Lizzie Kate design, and I started this on the 14th of May 2021, finished it on the 26th of February 2022. I started this as part of the hashtag Animania, and yeah, And I'm doing this, I did this on 32 count pale cream Murano. So I did change a lot of the colours with this one. I just really wanted to make it a bit more my theme in terms of colours, I suppose. Just wanted a bit more of a pastel, vibe. And I did do some changes to the design as well. So these little flowers here, I did change a little bit. And so, yeah, I just need to, again, find a little frame for this. And I think this might go in our bedroom. I think this would be a lovely little addition to our decor in our bedroom. We have quite a neutral bedroom anyway, so I think this would fit really, really well. There is a second kind of design that comes with this design, which is a smaller design, and so I would like to finish that as well. So yeah, that is my fourth finish. So really pleased with that one as well. And then the last finish was a complete surprise. I did not expect to finish this at all, but for some reason, when I was kind of starting to feel more myself, I just thought, I really just want to finish something. I just want to focus on something and just finish it. And so I picked up Busy Bee by Buffy Threads, Wrendale Designs kit. I started this as part of the March Madness as well. And this actually got to the final, but my Caterpillar Cross Stitch Hello Pumpkin won the vote. So I started this on the 22nd of February. I didn't start this for March Madness then. This was one of the projects I had in March Madness. So I started it before March Madness. So this was one of my WIPs before I went into it. So I started on the 22nd of the 2nd, 2021, finished it on the 28th of May, 2022. And here we have it. This was actually a lot smaller of a design than I actually thought. Because for March Madness, I started at the bottom here. And so when I started this project, when I picked this back up to stitch on it, I actually thought I'm going to be able to finish this, I think, quite quickly. And I did. It didn't take me too long, to be honest. This bee is just adorable. I think the design and how they managed to make the legs look like bee legs is just so clever. Just with a little bit of backstitch, this bee is what drew me to this design. And yeah, I just love how the slight backstitch that's been added to the legs really does make them legs look like this bee is flying. And as you know, bees have their little legs dangling, super cute. And so, yeah, I really just love the design and how they managed to do that. And then with the flower, there are some French knots that just make the little center points of the flowers. And I really do think it does add a difference to the design. And so, yeah, that is the last finish for me since I last saw you. So I'm really pleased with, you know, kind of being able to get them finished and ticked off. I kind of focused on projects that I knew I could get a finish with and the smaller projects. For some reason, a lot of them smaller projects I've started and then kind of just not finished. You know what it's like in cross stitching. There'll be another shiny new design that comes out which brings your attention to it, and then you end up forgetting the little projects that you love and fell in love with and started, and then kind of get forgotten about. So at the beginning of the year, I kind of sat down and went through all my projects, and other than Busy Bee, the other 4 were definitely on the list to get done for this year, and I'm so pleased that I got them done. So they are my finishes. So now we go on to the WIPs. Right, so let me get my little booklet out. So the first one is Victoria Charm, and this is a dimensions kit. This is the first dimensions kit I have ever stitched. My dad bought me this for as a Christmas present, and I started this on the 1st of January 2021. So this was a new year, new start in 2021. And there's quite a few people stitching this one. And so this one is a little bit messy, but this is where I'm at. Hopefully you can see that okay. And this is where I'm at. So with this one, this is really my first piece that is full coverage really. It's not full coverage. It's not, you know, actually classed as full coverage, because a lot of this blue here I don't believe is stitched. I think it is just the material, and so it's not, you know, the whole piece isn't full coverage, but it is mainly full coverage. And so yeah, it's definitely quite a challenge, but I think it's going to be amazing when it is finished. I'm just taking my time with this one. It's obviously on a dark blue 18 count Ada, which does come with a bit of a challenge. So I do find I do need to be in the mood for this one. But I would like to get a lot more of this done. And I am doing the back stitch as I go, as there is a lot of back stitch with this one. So I think it would be good to kind of keep the back stitch going with it. Otherwise there's going to be a lot of back stitch to get done with this one. So yeah, that is the first one. So that is my oldest WIP. Now I did have an older WIP, which was the Shannon Christie Designs, what's it called? Winter Snowfall. And I have decided just to put that aside for now. I've kind of took it out of my active WIPs, because I just don't think I'm feeling the material, the fabric that I'm using. I think as a stitcher you do really grow with your likes and what you don't like. And I've mentioned numerous times that I don't enjoy stitching on linen, and that is a big piece, and it's on a 28 count casual. I didn't leave a lot of room on the edges of that piece, and so I have just decided just to put it to a side, and if I pick it back up then I will obviously stitch it again. I absolutely love the design. I will insert a picture of it of the project that I'm talking about, so you know what I'm talking about. I absolutely love the design. I think I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it, but I think it would be better on a smaller count and on an even weave. So I think it will be one I come back to again. But at the moment, for the project that I've started, it's a shame really, because I had spent a lot of time on that project, but there is still a lot to go on that project. And so I decided to just take it off the frame. I had it on like a big easel frame. Take it off the frame and then I'll come back to it if I feel like I am still drawn to it, or start again. So that now, Victoria Charm is now my oldest WIP. So the next one is a Buffy Threads Wrendale Designs. It's Ducks and Daffs. Do I have a picture of that? Okay, I found it. Here is Ducks and Daffs by Buffy Threads Wrendale Designs. Stitching this as part of the kit. And I think this was actually a gift from someone as well. I think a lot of my Bothy thread kits are gifted to me, which I'm really lucky for. So this one I started, I'm not sure if I mentioned, I started this on the 2nd of the 12th, 2020. And this is where we're at. So we haven't got that much done, and I haven't stitched this for a while. But I will get to it at some point. And so I think I now have 2 Bothy thread kits on the go. I did have 3 originally. And I think one thing that I have kind of learnt since stitching stitching as much as I do, is to kind of have one similar piece at a time. And so I think, again, I don't think I would have that many Bothy thread kits at the same time. I think it's nice to have one style of that design. So then your WIPs are quite varied then. So yeah, I haven't done too much, and there is still quite a lot to go if we compare the two. But we will get there, we will get there. So that is the second WIP. The next WIP is Hello Petal by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I don't have a print off for this one, so I'll insert a picture here so you can see what it looks like when it's finished. I started this on the 1st of April 2021, and I'm stitching this on a 28 count linen. And I have changed some of the threads, and here is where we are at. Yep, you can see that. So I have changed mainly the, I think the biggest change is the bunny, and I have made the greens a little bit darker than the design. And I think I have made some other changes as well, but I can't remember what them changes are. So yeah, we've got maybe a quarter of it complete, I think. I think when I started this, it was the beginning of spring, and then we moved into kind of summer, and I just decided to put it away. And then obviously this spring, I wasn't stitching. So this one I'll just get back out probably next year now in spring. I really like stitching in the season that I'm in, and I'm happy for it to take as long as it takes. So yeah, we do need to come back to this one. But yeah, we'll get to it whenever we get to it. So that is the third one I think we're on now. Yes, third one. I'm definitely going to lose track with how many I've got. So the next one is Frosty Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is actually in a new bag which you haven't seen, so I thought I'd leave it in the bag. So my mum stitched my mum made me this for Christmas. I had loads and loads of like little pieces of fabric, and I wasn't going to use them, and my mum said give them to me and I'll try and make something out of it. And she made this bag which is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. And she also made me like a complimentary thread pack little zipper as well to match. So I've got all my little threads in there. And she also made me a little thread catcher. And we all know I love these little thread catchers. They're just brilliant. And so, yeah, she made me this for Christmas, and I love it. This is my first quilted patch bag, and yeah, feel so incredibly lucky to have such a beautiful bag, and I think this is perfect for this project as well. So I'll insert a picture of what the final piece is going to look. So this comes as part of a 9 patterned project, and I'll show you an example. So this comes in as individual pieces. I'm doing it as one big block. You can obviously do them individually, but I'm doing them as one big block. And yeah, so I start this 8th of May 2021, and it's being stitched on 32 count pearl grey. So let me just get it into a position where you can really see it all. So my goal at the beginning of 2022 was to actually finish a 3rd block, but I've now started the 4th one. That is not looking good there, is it? Is that better? Yeah. And so I started with the Frosty Forest. This is the centre piece. Then I moved to this green one down here. Then I did the deers, and then I'm now on this house here. Stitching this as part of the hashtag Frosty Forest Sal. And I did actually start this with the penguin cross stitcher. So we've got quite a few pieces to go. So this is what it looks like on the fabric. And there are buttons that come with this. I haven't decided whether to add the buttons yet. And I'm not doing any of the kind of French knots until right at the end because the snowman's missing his eyes at the moment. So I'm going to do that at the end. Okay. Next one is, I think it's, yeah, Fairy Tales Cinderella. So this one is part of this little bag. This was my first vinyl bag using the tutorial by Elizabeth Stitch. So this was my first vinyl bag, and so this is what it's going to look like. And if you have been with me a while, you'll know that I absolutely destroyed the fabric that it came with, and so I am now stitching this on a 32 count Summer Breeze by Paul Stitches. It's designed by Deborah Street by Bramble Crafts, kitted by Bothy Threads. Started this 7th of the 6th, 2021. And I've not really made that good of progress on this. That is my start, which is not good. And this little needle minder Evelyn across the pond bought me, bless her, thank you very much. My little Cinderella, oh, super cute. I love this fabric by Paul Stitches. It is lovely. I think it's being blown out a little bit there. It's a bit more blue. Yeah, it's a bit more blue than that. But that is my very, very small start. I think with this one, it's just really black. You know, a lot of the design is black. And so I really need to be in the mood for just stitching black. And this is perfect for those times where you just don't really want to think about it. You know, you're stitching with the same colour. And it does have metallic threads, which obviously is a nightmare to work with. But most of it is just black. So that is that one. Okay, what's next? So the next one is Buttercup, which is in my Buttercup bag. This one I received for my birthday off my parents as a gift. And so this one is, again, Wrendale Designs Buffy Threads kit. Started this on the 20th of June 2021 as part of a stitch along that I hosted here on my channel. A 6-month stitch along, which was to be, you know, to have it all finished in December. And I was on target, and then I obviously took on my second job, and then it all went out the window. But that's okay. We are going to get this one finished. And I don't think I've made that much progress on it since you last saw, but this is where we are at. Now this one is going to be pieced with the design Lovely Mum, which I finished, which I have actually framed, and I don't have it with me here. I think I shared it on my Instagram, but I don't think I've shared it here, so I'll make sure to bring that one down for my next update with you so you can see it. So this is where we're at. I would like to get this one finished this year if I can. So I only have this to do, this little duckling here, and then these flowers, and then all the back stitch. So I haven't done any of the back stitch as I've gone. Normally I do the back stitch, but because I kind of factored in the back stitch into my 6-part, because I think I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I'm on the 5th part. And then the 6th part I factored in to be the duckling, the flower, and the back stitch. So the 6th part was going to be quite a big part. But yeah, that is where we're at with that one. So that is my last Buffy Threads Wrendale Designs kit. The next one is Believe in Christmas by Crocette Gogo. This one I started on the 16th of July 2021. It's stitched on a I can't remember because I changed the material of this one, didn't I? It's a 32 count, I think it's platinum, 32 count Murana platinum, I think it is. So this one is what it's going to look like. This was very kindly gifted to me by Crocette Gogo, which I am so incredibly grateful for. So that's what it's going to look like. And this is where we're at. This is where we are at. So I've done the little reindeers and I'm now moving on to Santa. I think this one's going to take me a bit of time because, like I said, I do like to kind of stitch in the season that I'm in. So for this one, I'll obviously get out at Christmas time, but it is quite a big piece. So I think this is going to take me some time. So I have finished this section and I'm now working on this guy. I have thought about potentially removing the top bit and just stitching this bit so I can get that finished quicker, but I'm just going to see how I get on. I do prefer to just stitch the whole piece because I did fall in love with this design and truly grateful that it got gifted to me. So I would like to finish the whole piece, but I think it is actually going to be quite big. So we'll see how we get on with this one. This is stitch count 211 by 171, so it is quite reasonable. So that is that one. Okay, next we have Butter Believe It. This is in the bag that me and Evelyn stitched together. We've got the same matching bag, and with this one she stitched the little wallet and my mum stitched the little thread catcher. So incredibly grateful for all of these beautiful things being made for me. So this is Silver Creek Samplers, Butter Believe It. We started this in August 2021. I haven't got a specific date for some reason. And this is stitched on 32 count pearl opalescent bipole stitches. The only colour change I've made in this is, we've both made the change. We've decided to change the colour of the like burnt orange, I think it is, or orange. It's like a dark orange, and we've changed that to Classic Colourworks Holly Berry, I think it's called. And so this one we are making slow progress on, but we are making progress on it because with this one we only stitch when we are talking together. So whenever we do a little catch up, we stitch on this together. So the only time we stitch on this is when we are chatting. So I've kind of been moving around a little bit with this one. So the last time we had a little catch up, I worked on this popcorn because it is going to be quite big, I think. Well, it's not that it's going to be quite big, it's just going to be quite a lot of stitching to do at the same, you know, all together. So I've decided to stitch a little bit of the popcorn and then stitch a bit of the wording, just so that I don't just get burnt out on the popcorn. So that is where we are at. Absolutely love this fabric. This is one of my favourite fabrics of Paul Stitches. I just love the colour. I really like neutral fabrics. I'm not daring enough to stitch on all the beautiful colours that I see on FLOSSTUBE, but it has that really nice creamy texture, and obviously it's a hand dyed, so you get that kind of hand dyed feel, and also opalescent. So that is that one. Okay, the next one. We've got 3 left. So 2 left, sorry, I think. So the next one is Give Greatly Silver Creek Samplers. Started this on the 4th of December 2021, and this is on the same fabric as the one I just shown you, Paul Stitches 32 count pearl grey, and this is on my little bag that I made for it. And I think this was the last project you probably saw as a new start in my last FLOSSTUBE, and I just love this piece. It is just, this is probably one of my favourite pieces out of them all. So this is where we are at. I just love it. Did I show you what it's going to look like? I don't think I did. Do I have the copy here? No, I'll insert a picture of what it's going to look like because I don't seem to have it with me. I'll insert a picture of what it's going to look like so you can see. Now I do have an issue with this one, which is why I've put it down as I'm trying to decide what to do. I don't know if you can see on the camera. Let me see if I can get close up. The variegation of the, let me see if I can get, the variegation here is different because they are two different hand-dyed threads. They're the same colour, but they are from different times. So I bought one thread and ran out, and then I bought another, set of threads, and unfortunately the grey is a different grey in the snow, and it's really visible, and I'm absolutely gutted. So I don't really know what I'm going to do. I potentially may have to rip out a lot of the snow that I've already done. Unfortunately, all of my other threads that I've got match the darker thread of the grey, and that's the least I have done in that colour. So all of the snow that I've done all on this side and all the way kind of halfway to here is in the more of a lighter grey, and then the additional bit that I've done is in the darker grey. So I think I'm just going to carry on for now and then see what it looks like when it's all complete, because you might not be able to see it that much. And obviously snow kind of has different colours, that's kind of the reason why we use hand-dyed threads. But I am just not sure it's going to work out. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that one because this is one of my favourite pieces. I just love stitching on this, and I'm happy to stitch on this even in kind of sunshine hot days. I just love it so much. But I just need to see how I'm going to kind of fix that issue. So I think what I've kind of come to the decision of is I'm just going to carry on, see what it looks like when it's all finished. If I'm still not happy with it, I will rip out some of the grey bits within the design and maybe add the darker grey where it needs to go, and hopefully get around that issue. Okay, and then the last WIP is a new start that I've started with the lovely Beth Chadwick. She asked me if I would like to do a stitch along with her, host a stitch along with her. And obviously I said yes, and so we decided to do a stitch along using the Hello Sunshine design by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And so we started this on the 1st of March this year, and it's over 5 parts, so we're now on the last part. I am behind. Pregnancy symptoms kicked in not too long after this stitch along started, and so I kind of got behind on it, but I'm slowly catching up. I'm close to finishing the 3rd part. I'll insert a picture of what it's going to look like. You've probably already seen it. A lot of people have stitched this when it came out. Caterpillar Cross Stitch did they do this as a stitch along? Yes, they did. I think they did do it as a stitch along. Yeah, because we're using the parts, of course. So yeah, a lot of people have already stitched this. You're probably already familiar with it. I just love the hello trees. They're just so colourful, and this is super colourful. I'm stitching this on a 28 count even weave snow glitter, and we're using the hashtag Hello Sunshine Sale 2022, and this is where I'm up to. So you're probably wondering, why have I not done the tree? Because this is part 1, this is part 2, this is part 3. And the reason is because I've gone wrong. I've gone wrong somewhere in this tree. And so what I've decided to do is I've decided to just leave this tree, and when I come down on the tree, when I come round on this tree, if I need to move a stitch or two, it's not going to be a massive job because I've not completely finished it. So I'm now up here at the top for part 3. Part 4 is going to be down here for the butterfly, and then part 5 is going to be the bee, and I think the bee sits somewhere near this tree. So I've decided to just hold off on that tree just in case I need to make some change to it. And obviously if I don't fill it in, the change hopefully will be minimal if I need to move it around. But fingers crossed, there is some, you know, kind of movement in this tree, which is one of the reasons why I'm kind of glad of that, because I always make an error in these trees. I don't know what it is. I always make an error in these trees. But yeah, that is my last. This is my only new start of the year, and probably going to be my last. Unless I decide to stitch something for the nursery. Although I don't have that much time now, but if there is something kind of small for the nursery that I see, and then I may stitch something. But I'm really focusing on this at the moment because I do really want to finish this in July. So yeah, this is to be finished in July. So there is still quite a lot to go. But I think if I do focus on it and I get the time to stitch, I think it's possible. But I suppose that is the question, isn't it? Do we get the time to stitch? So yeah, I'm focusing on this. Obviously it's summer it's summer here. And so I am really feeling all of these kind of bright colours, and I've not made any changes to the colours of this one. The only thing I have done is kind of made a few tweaks to the design just because I made an error and need to make it fit. So yeah, that is my last one. So that is all of my WIPs. I actually don't know how many WIPs that is. Let me just check. I think it is about 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Now, the other one that you might be wondering where it is, because I haven't mentioned it, and that is the Crocette Go-Go Spring in the City, which is this one. Now, I started this on the 29th of May, 2021, and did I say it's by Crocette Go-Go? I'm not really sure if I did. When I was looking at my kind of all of my WIPs and deciding, you know, do I carry on with them, what my goal I wanted to be for that year, I started this on a 32 count raw linen. That was the called for. That's what this piece is stitched on, and it's such a big piece, and obviously I don't like stitching on linen, that I've decided to start it again. So I'm going to stitch this on an even weave taupe, but I'm going to hold off, I think, for now. So it's not part of my active WIPs at the moment, but it will be an active WIP again. But I just don't think I need to start it now. I think I'm just going to start it next year when I know I'm going to be able to spend the time on it. I've got plenty of other WIPs to be kind of focusing on before baby comes. But I think this would be a really nice piece to maybe get back into next year, or just to really be able to start it when I know I can focus on it. I know there's kind of no point in starting a brand new project, especially this big, when I know that I'm not going to really spend a lot of time on it. So I want to start this again, but probably going to be maybe next year. So it's kind of the piece that I started at, you know, I have UFO'd it, but the actual design I am going to pick back up. I've already bought the fabric for it, so it's ready to go whenever I'm ready to stitch it. But I think I'm going to start it next year when I know I can really focus on it. And obviously it'd be really nice to stitch this as part of spring as well. I am going to be taking the spring off it though, because I want this to be an all year round piece that I can have displayed in the house. And I think I'm going to put this one in my office. I think the colours will go really nice with my kind of new office that I've got now. So yeah, that is the other piece that would normally be in my WIPs, but I've decided to restart it on a brand new fabric. So that is all my WIPs. That is my mid-year WIP parade. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you have enjoyed seeing all of these WIPs. If there is anything that I've kind of forgotten to talk about, or if there's anything you want to know more about, just leave a comment down below, or reach me on Instagram at Craftivating Creations. And yeah, I think the plan really now for me is just to focus on my WIPs, just put in as much time as I can. Obviously there's going to be a period when baby comes where there's going to be no stitching, but you know, at the same time, when I can, I will stitch. I think stitching for me is a really good kind of relaxed time for me, so I will pick up the stitching when I can, once I've kind of found my feet, got a routine with baby. Yeah, so October is when she's due, so I've still got about 3 months, 3.5 months to kind of put my effort into my projects. Hopefully maybe get a few more finishes, you never know. I don't think there's really anything too close to finishing other than my Hello Sunshine. I'm hoping to get Hello Sunshine done. That would be great. If I can get my WIP number down 10, that is going to be my goal really. So for the next video, I am going to share with you what I have been purchasing over the past 6 months, what I've received. I had a birthday, I turned 30. So yeah, I'll share with you what I got for my birthday. I also still have a pile of things I got for Christmas. So I'll share with you some of the patterns and things that I got for Christmas. And I also received quite a lot of Stitchy kindness, which I am just so incredibly grateful for. So I'll share that with you as well, and obviously share with you what I have been stitching on. So yeah, that is everything from me. It's been so nice to be able to sit down and catch up with you all. I honestly have missed you all so much. Being able to share with you my WIPs again has just been so nice. And like I said at the beginning, you know, it really does add to my enjoyment of stitching, being able to sit down and show you what's been going on. I've really missed that this year. And so yeah, the next one is not going to be in another 6 months time. So yeah, enjoy your stitching, enjoy your summer if you're in summer, or whatever season you're in, and I will see you very soon.